This Christmas, choose food with the Board B Equality Mark for the highest standards, verified at every stage.
Hello and welcome to Limerick City, the location for my Christmas programmes this year. As usual, there's a lot to pack in because as well as meeting interesting people and going to interesting places, I've got some new recipes for you, including a delicious glazed rack of pork and a no-bake hazelnut and chocolate tart. But first, I'm going to start with smoked salmon and crab meat galettes. So I'm going to show you a really quick and easy starter that you can have everything made ahead. And it's a smoked salmon and cream cheese galette. So these are the galettes. They're puff pastry. So what you do, you get your pastry, you roll it out. So it's the ready rolled puff pastry. And then I'm using a saucer, so I'm getting a nice big kind of size for a galette. Put that on top, and then using the knife, you cut around the circle. And then this is a cookie cutter, but I'm not using the sharp end, I'm using this end here. Press that on top, and then you're going to egg wash it. So I've just used some egg yolk, a little bit of milk, and then what I do is sprinkle it with sesame seeds and poppy seeds. So that gives lovely texture, nice bit of colour there. So I lift that off, and then what I did is that prick it with a fork. So you put them into the oven on parchment paper at 180, and they take about 15 to 17 minutes until they're beautiful and golden brown. And this is what they look like. You can put them on a cooling rack, but I'm going to show you how to make the filling. So we're going to use some nice cream cheese. So this is an Irish cream cheese from Cologne Farm. Have it at room temperature. So just give that a nice little stir. So we're going to put in some lovely creme fraiche into this. Now lots of lovely herbs. So your chives first of all, just cut them as fine as you can. So in goes your chives. So some dill. You can use fennel too, but dill is great with fish. And then this goes in here too. Now, so we're going to grate some lemon. Now, so that's the lemon. We're going to put some lemon juice. Mix that all together. So I'm going to put in some beautiful Irish crab meat, which is gorgeous, and this is cooked. So I have about 100 grams in there. So give this a really good mix. That's what it looks like. Now, so I'm going to bring this up another level. I have some beautiful pickled red onion and cucumber. So dice them both, keep the skin on, but remove the seeds from the cucumber. And then you cover it with a little bit of vinegar, white wine vinegar, touch of sugar, some star anise. So about 3 spoonfuls of that. So there's a nice little bit of texture in that. So there is from the cucumber, and then we mix all this together. So that's it done. So that can be kept for a few days, which is perfect. Now, what we're ready to do is to serve up. So make sure these are cold. These are the galettes. So we'll get our plate, and then just give it a spoon, and then press. You kind of just see where I use the cutter. That's going to press down, because I want to get as much of that nice cream cheese in there. So spoon that in. Now, we have our beautiful smoked Irish organic salmon. Room temperature is always nicer to eat it at. What I've done, so they come in little strips and I've just rolled them. So I'm going to place 3 of these on top. And then we have some capers. Now capers is something you either love or you don't like. You can definitely leave them out. So I've removed them from the brine, and they give lovely little bit of kind of acidity, sharpness. So about 4 or 5 of them is more than enough. And then we're going to serve this with some salad. Again, just dress it at the last minute. A little bit of nice olive oil here. And then a touch of balsamic vinegar, or you can use a white wine vinegar or cider vinegar, as you wish. And I always like to put a little pinch of sea salt. Nice little pile of the salad. And the last thing for this is a little bit fresh herbs, just some dill, just over the top. But a lovely light starter. That's my smoked salmon, crab and cream cheese galettes. Christmas is a very busy time for butchers up and down the country, and Limerick has one of the oldest butcher shops in Ireland, established more than a century ago.
Well, O'Connell's Butchers was established in 1919 by Paddy O'Connell and his son. As you can see here, we have 2 shops. We have our beef and lamb, and we have our pork shop. Back in 1919 and in the early 1900s, Limerick was synonymous with pork.
Okay, yes.
And had a big pork trade. We had 4 big bacon factories here in Limerick. So it was very unionised. So you could either really only have your pork shop or you could be a beef butcher shop. So Mr. O'Connell at the time when he opened up, he came up with the novel idea of having 2 doors into his shop, one for pork and one for beef and lamb.
And I was looking, at your pork shop, all your kind of Limerick ham, of course, it's famous, isn't it?
We're one of the very few producers left in Limerick that produce actually real Limerick ham. From start to finish, we brine, we cook, we slice and we sell. We cook and sell within 24, 48 hours. We have a recipe from the original pork factory O'Mara's.
Yes.
We still have that recipe today and we still use it.
Now, Christmas, as we know, is a very busy time. What are the customers looking for? Has it changed now, since you started being a butcher?
When I started off first, there was no such thing as a crown of turkey, or there was no such thing as a butterfly boned and rolled piece of turkey. You would sell a full turkey, and maybe even most families would buy a 16 or an 18-pound turkey and a full ham, and it would be cooked and used for the entire week.
So no waste?
No waste whatsoever. Now they would only buy maybe a smaller cut, a smaller full turkey if they want to be a traditional, and a small full ham. A lot of the younger people would go for the turkey butterfly, which is the boneless turkey. It can be cut to the size, and the same with the what we call the horseshoe ham, which is the boned and rolled front of ham. And again, you can cut it to size, and it only does for your 2 or 3 days for Christmas.
Lovely. When I saw the pork shop, there was some sliced kind of red meat, it looked like beetroot in it. Oh, is that brawn?
Yes, that's Limerick brawn. Oh. Yes. It was originally made from anything that was left over from the pig inside in the factory, and it was salted and made. And then they added a beetroot extract to give it that real red colour that you see there now. Limerick is steeped in history where pork and bacon is concerned.
Well, Antón, it's been absolutely brilliant to visit the shop, because I see all the awards. Congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you very much indeed, and a very happy Christmas to you.
Roast pork is a delicious meat to enjoy over the festive season. And what I'm going to cook is a beautiful rack of pork. So this is French trimmed. This is our quality assured Irish pork. It's a beautiful cut, really tender. On the bone, gives so much flavour, and it's really succulent. So it's already trimmed, so it is. Scored a little bit of the fat, and the chine bone is removed, so that makes it really easy to carve. So I have some vegetables, a little bit of celery, onion, like that. We're going to put in some apple, because apple works really well with pork. And then just slice them. So just sprinkle them all over around the roasted tray. We're going to put in some marmalade, one of my favourite vinegars, balsamic vinegar. And then we have some cloves. You're going to mix this all together. So using a pastry brush, we're going to brush this all over. So I'm kind of dabbing it on now on top. Some water just around. It's going to keep it kind of nice, keep it really, really moist. There's a good tip. Some parchment paper just on top of that there. And there's a reason why when we put the tin foil on, it's going to stop it from sticking. So we have some tin foil, 2 sheets, and kind of crunch this all up here. Cut like this will take between an hour and 20, an hour and 30 minutes, 180, and that's in a fan oven. I'm going to pop this in now. Now my tip for this Christmas is make a head gravy. So the start, first of all, is our beautiful chicken wings, which we've just roasted. A little bit of oil, salt and pepper on parchment paper. They're in there for nearly an hour. Over here to our saucepan. So we have some celery, onion, we have some carrot in there, and they're kind of caramelised, so they're nice and brown. Now that takes a good 25 minutes to do that. So some fresh herbs, and just tear the bay leaf, just 2 or 3 bay leaves into this. And then we have our rosemary, and then some fresh thyme. So stalks and all, don't worry about chopping it, just rip it in there. So with our chicken wings, we're going to pop this in. Now to give that a mix there, so you can see all those lovely colours and flavours. You can smell the herbs now, and that's what's crackling there. So we're going to deglaze with Madeira. I love this in a gravy. So it's a fortified wine. You could use port, but I do prefer Madeira. So I'm going to deglaze it. It's going to be a little bit noisy. So a nice red wine into this. Now we're going to bring this to the boil, and we're going to start to thicken it with a little bit of flour. So just have some plain flour here. Just kind of sprinkle this in. So that's what it looks like there. You can see that, all that lovely sediment. So the base for this then is just some boiling water. Bring it to the boil. and literally let this simmer for a good hour. So you're going to extract as much flavour from those chicken wings. So I have one already done here, I'm going to show you. So we've let that, and see the way it's just totally broken down. And what we do is we pass it and squeeze all that lovely sediment through a sieve. So this is, I'll just show you the consistency of this. So you're getting all those lovely juices here, and this can be cooled down, put into your fridge or freezer. It can be done a week or two ahead. So that's my make-ahead gravy. Now I've taken my pork out of the oven and it's been resting, and you got to rest it for a good 15-20 minutes to relax the meat. That's really, really important. While that was cooking, I kept brushing it with that lovely glaze 2 or 3 times, and that's it there. It's a glorious cut. So I'm going to put that in the centre of the dish here. Roasties, we all love roasties at Christmas, and then for our make-ahead gravy, you could put in the lovely juices from your roast pork, nice big jug of this. And that's our make-ahead gravy. That I hope is going to be a great tip, and I hope this is going to be a delicious cut that you and your family will enjoy this Christmas. That's my beautiful Irish pork. Enjoy with these lovely vegetables, and happy Christmas.
This Christmas, choose food with the Board B Equality Mark for the highest standards, verified at every stage. This Christmas, choose food with the Board B Equality Mark for the highest standards, verified at every stage.
Over the years, I've cooked the Christmas turkey in so many different ways, but this year, I think I've got the easiest way of cooking it yet, and it's my butter-basted turkey breast. Crush some garlic, add this to the butter. Make sure your butter is at room temperature. This makes the spreading of the butter over the meat much easier. And grate in the zest of an orange. Pick some thyme leaves and add in some chopped parsley. Mix all the ingredients together completely. Spread the butter in a thick layer all over the skin and make sure the skin is dry. A small palette knife is very helpful for this, but a regular knife or a spoon will work well. You'll see that the turkey is sitting on the trivet, and I've lined the bacon tray with some greaseproof paper, which makes the washing up a lot easier. Cover the turkey with pieces of quality assured streaky bacon. I prefer smoked bacon here, and drizzle generously with olive oil. Be generous too with salt and pepper. Finally, add some cold water to the tray, and this will create steam, which will be trapped by the tin foil. Place it over the turkey, tucking it in all around the edges. Place the turkey in an oven preheated at 180 degrees. The time it takes to cook will depend, of course, on the weight, and don't forget to keep basting every 15 to 20 minutes. When it's cooked, leave it to rest before carving and serve it with whatever vegetables or sides you like. There's a good chance that you may have left over turkey and ham, so here's a very easy recipe to use up that delicious meat. Melt some butter in a large pan. When it starts to foam, stir in some finely chopped leeks. Make sure that the leeks are completely coated in the butter. When these are softened a bit, you're not looking for colour. Add some chopped spring onion and again coat these with the butter. Crush some garlic, stir this in and add some thyme leaves. Sprinkle in some flour, and it's important to cook this out, so keep stirring so you'll see it turn into like a sandy texture. Add some chicken stock, a little bit at a time, and keep stirring. You want a really smooth sauce that thickens the gratin to the consistency that you prefer. Some people prefer a thick sauce, others prefer a slightly runnier sauce. When the sauce has been made, add in some mustard, cream, grated cheddar cheese, chopped parsley, sea salt and freshly ground pepper. Stir it all together thoroughly. Cut the leftover turkey and ham into similar sized pieces. Add this to the sauce, mixing everything together before you place it into an oven-proof dish. Adding chopped parsley to breadcrumbs gives this some extra colour and flavour. Sprinkle this over the creamy turkey and ham mixture and cook it in the oven until the breadcrumbs have turned golden brown and the sauce is bubbling round the edges. Serve this with a big bowl of green vegetables and enjoy this very seasonal dish, which is really straightforward to make. If you're interested in food, you can't come to Limerick without visiting the historic milk market. It's not a full trading day today as the stall holders are getting ready for Christmas. But I'm going to have a chat with the market's manager, David Fitzgerald. David, it's lovely to see you, and I know it's a Thursday and you've opened especially for us, so thank you so much.
No, not at all, Neven. We're delighted to have you down. Today will be a kind of a prep day for a lot of the traders. We have about 10 shops and traders here today, but on a Saturday you could have 80 traders inside and another 45 outside, so it's like a real beehive here on a Saturday, and that's the real kind of showcase day. So right behind us here we've got Bon Appetit run by Sebastian and Kasia. They're a couple that have run that business for over 20 years, start out in a little table and they make the most wonderful crepes at this side of the country. So they're a real top class operator. They're neighboured in Wild Irish Chocolates, Patricia. She's been in business here over 20 years, again starting out on a little table, and that's a common team, doing some of the best artisan chocolates in the business. And in around the periphery you'll find some of the best bakers, cafes, restaurants, vintage clothes, crafts, and just some wonderful range of people that have a real passion for their product. And within the market on a Saturday you could have farmers market traders with their produce freshly grown. You could have people that have added value products. They've made cheeses or breads or dips. As well as all the food, we've a wonderful young trader called Fernand Coughlin over in the corner here, Ree Story. He's got some amazing handcrafted products. Flying Cheese Grocer and Grill. That is a wonderful range of local artisan Limerick products as well. It kind of gives you a little bit of flavour of what's on show on a Saturday because it's a kind of a grocery shop as well.
Great, I'm looking forward to that, and I want to wish you a very happy Christmas.
And many happy returns.
David, it's lovely to meet you, and I had a lovely chat with David. And he told me that you're one of the longest tenants here in the milk market.
I am. I've been here 11 years this month, actually, yeah. I took over an existing cheese stall outside, and they used to specialise, actually, in bringing in continental cheeses, but I've switched that around now, and we have huge selection of Irish cheeses. And
yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
And of course, a Christmas cheese is very popular, isn't it?
For the day after, it's a big thing now. You know, everybody's had enough of their turkey and their ham, so they want to try something different that day, yeah. So, very popular.
I know we're talking about cheese, but I'm looking at lots of other local produce. You have your local apple juice, you know, you have something from Donegal over
there. Auntie Flynn out in Limerick, huge orchards, yeah. That's beautiful, award-winning apple juice. On the cheeses, though, we have locally we have the Cratloe cheese, just made literally 10 minutes from here. Lovely sheep's cheese. Been going for over 30 years, fantastic cheese.
Why do people love shopping in a market?
They love your local fresh produce, like the local cheeses, but it's a huge social thing. So people meet friends here, you see them just bumping into people casually, have a cup of coffee, and you get the great service because you're meeting the producers as well. You're meeting the people that make the products. The noise here is fantastic. The atmosphere is fantastic. So from 9 o'clock in the morning, it's absolutely heaving. So especially at Christmas, you have people coming in here at 7, half 7 to try and get ahead of the crowds. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Well, I really hope you have a busy Christmas and thank you, and wish you and your team a very, very happy Christmas.
Thanks very much.
Chocolate and hazelnut is a great combination, and this chocolate tart is so easy. So first thing we're going to do, water goes into the pot, and then glucose. So this is some liquid glucose. We're going to give you a nice clear caramel. Now if you can't get liquid glucose, powder glucose, and you can actually make it without, but sometimes it can crystallise. So I'm going to use this whisk here, just makes it easier to mix it, and then in goes our caster sugar. Now you'll see this change. I'm picking a nice wide saucepan for this. As you can see, this is on full heat now. Don't put a lid on it, let it reduce. Let's talk about our chocolate. So we're using some really good couverture chocolate. 2 bars of the dark, 70%. And then we have milk chocolate. See the different colours? We have some butter in there too. And we're just melting this. You're going to stir this all together. And this is from a chocolate producer in Cavan, Anya's Chocolate. So really, really good quality. So this is a hazelnut and white chocolate spread. Look at that. So I'm not going to waste that. I'm going to use that in a moment. Just going to give that a stir. See how silky that is. That's gorgeous. Now, so what I'm going to do, we're going to make what we call a ganache. So your chocolate is melted, you have your butter in there. With some nice double cream. The hot cream goes into your chocolate. Pour that all in. Now the easiest way that I've learned to make this, just a wee stick blender. Oh yes, look at that. So for the base for this, we blended some shortbread. So just shortbread like this in the food processor, you know, like if you're making a cheesecake. Just blend this, a little bit of butter. So the recipe is on your screen now, you can look that up. What are we going to do with the rest of the hazelnut spread? We're going to put this all over the base. And then with the back of the spoon, you're just going to go right to the edge. Now, for our lovely ganache, this goes all over. Just with the spatula, you go right to the edge. That'll probably set in about 3 to 4 hours in the fridge. So I'll move that out of the way. Now for our caramel. So we have, you can see the way it's changing colour. So that's ready now for the orange juice to go in. That's going to be the first citrus fruit. So watch this. Be careful. Just reduce the heat a little bit. And you'll see it kind of sets. You think, oh my God, I've done something wrong. No, you haven't. So just whisk that there for a minute or two. What I like to add into it is some vanilla. So you could use vanilla extract. This is the full vanilla pod. We're going to split this down the centre. And then that's all those lovely seeds. And that goes in here. Now with the skin, that's going to go in there too. You're just going to whisk this. So when this has cooled down, I'll remove the vanilla skin to let that bubble away there. Now we're going to put in our lovely clementines and limes. The full lime, just cut it in half and just juice it in there. Clementines. When this cools down, it's going to be like a honey consistency. And that's it done. So that's the caramel ready. What I've done is just strain it and let it cool completely. Now, when I'm serving this, I like to take this out about 30 minutes before we actually cut it up and decorate it. But we're going to finish it off with some amaretti, little biscuits. Heat your knife, and then we're going to just cut it. So go right into the centre. You can hear that kind of crunch. Sea salt works really well. And this is some Mackerel sea salt. Creme fraiche, just over to the side. And then the last thing, I don't drizzle over the tart, I just drizzle just to the side. That caramel. I really love the combination of the hazelnut and the chocolates, finished with the amaretti biscuits, and that little bit of sea salt, and then that lovely citrus caramel. I hope you enjoy this recipe. It's really delicious. One of my favourite parts of making these festive programmes is hearing the Christmas carols, and I'm looking forward to hearing the Encore Chamber Choir performing tonight at St Mary's Cathedral. Earlier today, I visited the cathedral to meet the Very Reverend Niall Sloan.
You're very welcome, Neven, to St Mary's, the oldest building in the city, yes, founded by King Donal in 1168 as a cathedral, but it predates that in that the Vikings, when they established the city of Limerick in 922, had this as their city hall. It eventually evolved into the Royal Palace for the Kings of Munster. In 1168, King Donal gifted it to the church, so it's been a place of worship since 1168. But we like to think that the feasting as part of what we do here, whether it's over coffee after Sunday morning or around the table at the Eucharist, that echoes back to its historic foundations.
You mentioned feasting, and I know you were telling me that you do gala dinners here.
We do. Throughout the year, as supporting our income and our mission, our ministry, we have events here, corporate events throughout the year, and it very much supports what we do as a cathedral to the city and beyond.
And like, how many people could you have at an event like that now?
So at a gala dinner, we can accommodate up to 250, but we have other events throughout the year with hospitality, whether it's lecture, talks, recitals, concerts, musical events, and again, hospitality will be a key element to that for us.
Now, I know Christmas is a very, very busy and special time here in the cathedral, but you're also very, very well known for the bell ringing.
So yes, on New Year's Eve, the bells ring out, welcoming in a new year, and people congregate outside in the grounds of the cathedral, along with St Mary's Prize Band, ringing in the new year. We have a team of ringers.
There must be great excitement and buzz here.
Absolutely.
In the area.
And just when you're waiting those few seconds before the bell to toll, it's electric, the atmosphere.
Well, I want to wish you a very happy Christmas. You're a fellow Cavan man, aren't you, like myself?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good.
And thank you so much for your time.
Not all. Thank you. Happy Christmas to you.
I'm delighted to end tonight's programme with a Christmas carol, sung by the Encore Chamber Choir. And I look forward to seeing you next time for the next episode of Neven's Christmas in Limerick.
beauty's treasure. Fa la 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 la, fa la la la. Past away the old year passes. Fa la 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 la, fa la la la. Hail the new ye lads and lasses. Fa la 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 la, fa la la la. Laughing, quaffing all together. Fa la la la, fa la la la. Heedless of the wind and weather. Fa la la la, fa la la la.
This Christmas, choose food with the Board B Equality Mark for the highest standards, verified at every stage.